welcome back to the channel. So I don't want to take too long on this. So I was responding to them like earlier on my way to the gym, and the response, I don't know if they see. This is why I responded. I'm like, bro, you did not watch the video. They said they did watch the video. I spell it out in plain words. I spell it out in plain words, and they still respond like this. He said I made up a premise in my head. Did no research on the topic. Bro, go look at my channel, bro. I've been following this a long time. I'm an investor. I invest in companies. That's what I do. I literally sold my portfolio and bought the house I live in. I'm not saying I make millions. No, I make thousands. I made thousands. But I'm still financially literate. I still watch the market. And if you don't watch the market, you're just a gamer, of course, you don't understand what I'm talking about. But we're talking about business versus business, not PlayStation versus Xbox, not Sony versus we're talking about business versus business, bro. He's saying Sony's not losing money in AAA gaming. I never said they were. Not one time in any of my words did I say they were. I did say, will PlayStation fans sacrifice God of War for Halo? Because he asked, do you think Halo and Gears are coming to PlayStation? Hopefully they do. Because the fans want to play them on PlayStation, don't they? I don't care what the fuck you play Halo and Gears. Microsoft doesn't either. I think fanboys don't understand that. No matter how many times you say it, I don't think fanboys understand that, bro. When you look at the market right now, when I sold, Microsoft was at like 420 a share. They're almost at 500. They're at like 470 right now. That's growth is crazy. When I sold my Sony stock, that shit was at like 92. They're at like 86 right now. That is tanking. That is tanking. People don't understand it because all they see is what the gaming media tells them and what the motherfucking fanboys talk about on YouTube and on Twitter. They don't see businesses being businesses. Microsoft knows that software makes money. They're the biggest software company in the world. PlayStation knows that software makes money. That's why they try to constrain their fans to only buy their software. It's not working. Why? Because in the top 20 best-selling PlayStation games, we just went over this, 5 of them are Xbox games. Microsoft had nothing to do with most of them. They kind of just stumbled upon all this free money. Call of Duty, Fallout 4, still in the top 20. What the fuck? On both platforms, PlayStation 5 and PS4? Minecraft is still there. Sea of Thieves is up there now. Number 1. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's probably not going to be number 1 for long. But it was number 1 at the time. This is free money for Microsoft. They're taking it from PlayStation. So yeah, PlayStation gets 30%. I said this in my video. But you got to see, PlayStation is getting 30% of the top 20 best-selling games on their platform. They're not getting 100% of any revenue right now. They have no AAA games to get 100% of any revenue right now. So them just getting 30% from every game on their store that's selling is detrimental to their business practices. Why? Because PlayStation profits off PlayStation fans. Those are the only people that they make money on. As of right now, PlayStation only makes money off PlayStation fans. Helldivers is a second party deal. They get 30% of Helldivers. That's why they don't push Helldivers like they should. Because it's not first party. Stellar Blade, another like a second party deal. They get 30% of fucking Stellar Blade. They're not getting 100% of those. They don't own those IP. So what is Sony actually making? We saw their showcase. They had nothing there. They've been trying to push this live service narrative because they need to make more money to make y'all the AAA games y'all enjoy. They said that themselves. Timothy Ryan came out and said it so many times. They failed. Spider-Verse game, gone. Last of Us game, gone. The Deviation game, gone. They have fucking Concord coming. That shit looks garbage. We all know it looks trash. So what I said is that if Microsoft, who doesn't care where the money comes from, money is money to a business. if they're going to walk up to PlayStation's well and get buckets and walk home, and PlayStation doesn't have enough people to keep refilling that well for them. They don't have enough AAA games to refill that well for them. So Microsoft is going to fucking bleed that well dry little by little, because Microsoft is not going to stop taking from PlayStation. They're not just going to stop putting games over there. They see how much money they're making over there. They like, I mean, our old ass games is profiting. Let's put another game over there. Drop another one. Okay, more money for them. Call of Duty was making 16 billion on PS5 alone. I mean, on PlayStation alone, like together, because that was like Vanguard's numbers when the FTC case was going on. This is not fake news. This is actual news. Old news. Actual news. 16 billion on PS5 alone. Microsoft wasn't getting that money back then. 16 bill is now Microsoft's money. And that was for a game nobody wanted to play. Black Ops looks really fucking good right now. It looks like people want to play that fucking game. It doesn't matter where you buy it at. So now Microsoft is getting 70% of Call of Duty on PlayStation, 70% of Call of Duty on Steam, which Call of Duty is trending. It's up there in the fucking pre-order sales, and they get 100% of it on Xbox. And you think this is a great thing for Sony because they still get the Xbox games. It's good for the gamers. I'm not going to say it's not. Gamers want to play games. They can play as many games as they want. It's not going to change anything, but it's going to change how Sony gets money. Because now if Sony's losing their own fan base's money, their fan base used to fill Sony's well with money all the time. That's why Nintendo does what Nintendo does. That's why Nintendo fans are filling Nintendo's well with money every fucking month of every year. But now Sony fans is filling up Microsoft's bucket. They're filling up Microsoft's bucket to take home. Now Sony comes back to the well because Sony hasn't dropped anything, and they're like, wait, why is the well drained? And then they see Microsoft walking up with the bucket again. Sony can't stop giving them the 70%. They can never stop giving them the 70%. So how does Sony make that back? Because gamers only have so much time and so much money to spend. That is what Phil and them said. The gaming industry isn't growing. So you have to find a way to make more money in this limited space. And how is Microsoft doing it? Leeching. That's exactly what they're doing. Let's just leech 70% from Sony. We can nickel and dime them. They're a big company. They might not feel it. Not yet. Until it's too fucking late. Because now on Sony down years like this one, Microsoft is making a lot of money on that platform that Sony's not going to get back. Because Microsoft is not going to be like, hey, let's reinvest in Sony. No. They're gonna bolster themselves. They might drop a little bit over there. Like they just did. But is that really reinvestment? No. Because they're just going to pillage off Sony some more. Leech off Sony some more. So no matter what well the gamers are taking their fucking money to, Microsoft is taking a bucket out of that shit. Rather it's Steam, rather it's PlayStation, and their well, Xbox, is still making them money. People look at Game Pass like, oh, but Game Pass. Microsoft still has a store where people buy games. They still have a store where people buy games. They still have freaking Game Pass Core, which is essentially Xbox Live. And people still pay for that to play games online. Though that money hasn't changed. Game Pass numbers have grown. We've seen them bitches grow. They're like 35 million people buying Game Pass. Game Pass is like $17 if you buy Ultimate. What is it? 10 or 11 if you just buy normal. That's a lot of fucking money if you think about it. And that's just passive income. That's just passive income. Maybe it's because I'm so, financially inclined. I'm so analytical because I watch the stock market and I'm looking at this business fucking crumble. They lost me money. So I'm watching it because I'm like, Sony lost me money. I know they're losing a whole lot of money for a whole lot of people. Because if they lost a nigga like me money and I only got thousands, I know the millionaires are pissed. I know the high-ranking financial investors are fucking pissed. That is all I'm saying in my video. That is all I'm saying. So when he brings up Halo and Gears like it's a bad thing, that's a bad thing for Sony Interactive Entertainment. Because if Sony comes to their platform every month on a month and they see Halo, Gears, Call of Duty, top 3 best-selling games, they're fucked. Because when is God of War going to be up there? We know them bitches has never beat Call of Duty. How are they going to beat Halo, Call of Duty, and Gears all at the same time? Sony's not going to profit off their own. They're not going to profit off their own store if that happens, bro. Because, like he said, that's the logical conclusion. So put them bitches over there and watch the fan base go fucking crazy. The gamers are going to play these bitches. They're going to make a lot of money. Then Sony's going to try to have to win them back. But how do you beat Gears of War? How do you beat Halo? How do you beat Call of Duty? I don't think you do. Sony has nothing to compete with them. And Microsoft has all 3. Do you understand now, bro? Do you understand now? I hope you do. But I'm going to end this right here. So thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to go play some games now. And I'll see y'all in the next one.